This confidence booster question is going to help to build the exam technique skills that you need to pass the AAA exam. This is one of the resources that's included in my paid course that I'm making available for free here for you on YouTube so that you can see the style of my support and you can get some free help too. My course really works. I'm incredibly proud of my pass rate from the June 22 exam sitting. 81% versus the global pass rate of 31%. And the reason it's so high, well, mainly it's because my students work really hard, but I give them loads of support and guidance to give them the best possible chance of passing the exam. Lots of videos giving you technique advice and lots of marking from me so I can give you tailored feedback on how to improve your answers. If you want to get in touch with me to talk about joining one of my courses, scan the QR code that is showing on screen now. Right, into this confidence booster recording. This confidence booster question on other assignments will be a simplified past exam question with a shortened scenario and shortened questions to just build your confidence before you do the demonstration question. So here is the scenario showing on screen. And two questions. You need to come up with one matter to consider before taking on this forensic audit work, and come up with one procedure to quantify the value of the insurance claim. So read through the scenario and come up with your matter to consider and your procedure. Right, let's go through this together then. So firstly, matter to consider. We're told down here that there is a deadline of just 3 weeks for us to do this work. And as soon as I see something like that, a relatively tight deadline, I'm thinking, that's something I need to consider. Can I do it in 3 weeks? So I always like to start in my answer by really stating the fact. There's a tight deadline of just 3 weeks. But on its own, that's not enough. We need to develop this point. Why is it a problem that the deadline is tight? You've got to explain it and develop your point. So here is one way you can develop it. Have we got enough staff with the required skills, competencies to complete the engagement in time to meet that deadline? There's other things you could talk about, like have we got enough time to do proper reviews, for example? But that's enough to earn a mark. And what about a procedure then to quantify the value of this insurance claim? Always with a procedure, we always like to start with a fact from the scenario. So what are we told here? Any good facts about the scenario, about what the fraud? Here's one. It was filmed by CCTV. They filmed, we caught these guys red-handed really with the CCTV. The thieves loaded a lorry with boxes containing finished goods. Okay, so what would we do with that as an audit procedure? Well, we'd watch it. We would watch the CCTV to work out how many boxes were stolen, the quantity, and what was in them. What type of boxes were they? Now, on its own, that's not enough. We need to develop that further to explain this procedure to earn full credit. So once I've watched it, what would I really be looking for? So I'd identify the quantity and type of boxes from the footage and trace their costs back to cost card records so that I can see what was the value of each box that was stolen. And just to really seal the deal and finish it off, I'd multiply that quantity by the type, the cost per box for each box type to establish the value of the goods that were stolen. That's the level of detail we want to be putting onto our acceptance points and onto our procedures in this type of question. I hope you found that recording useful and it's helping you to build the exam technique skills you need to pass AAA. Here are some more free resources that you might find useful. And if you want to get in touch with me, scan that QR code. So firstly, my podcast. I take real world events and discuss them from an auditing perspective to really bring the subject to life. Those are available for free on all of the major podcast platforms. Just search for ACCA Ben Wilson. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be releasing a lot more of this type of video and other videos too that will help you to pass. So subscribe so that you don't miss out. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I post things like quizzes that get quite a lot of comment and debate about auditing issues. So you'll find those useful if you subscribe to me. I also post exam technique tips on there too. And finally, have a look at my website. It will give you a real idea of all of the support that I provide.